What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Cantina Jargon. We are talking about Bad Batch episode 6 and 7 today. As always, joined by Caden from
What's
Cantina
going on?
Talk. We got 2 episodes, which is really nice. Instead
Yeah.
of getting a 20-minute episode and you're done watching, right away. They were good too, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, I thought they were great.
So should we jump right into, discussion about those episodes? Because there was definitely something interesting going on in that second one.
Yeah, would love to. Would also love to give time to your main theory as well too.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, let's just jump into it. There's a kind of a special ops force within Tantus, it seems, of clones that have been completely brainwashed, and I don't know what necessarily makes them special ops versus like the regular clone commanders. Do you think it's their loyalty? Do
I
you
think they're
think it's
enhanced.
you think they're being enhanced in some
Yeah,
way?
I think they're I think they're conducting experiments on them to make them more advanced. Because don't get me
Mm,
wrong, Cody has always been a great shot, but not like that. The fact of where because he's at they're having that person's having crosshair abilities at this point when it comes to aim.
yeah, I mean, I will say this: when the episode was happening, like in real time, and I hadn't really thought that, oh, this could be Cody or Tech during the time. I was like, is this a cloned Crosshair? Which I guess is possible too.
It could be. I feel like that'd be kind of lame, to be honest, though. Because it feels
Yeah,
like why would they make it feel so personal then? And I guess
right,
it's like if the clone
right.
wants to kill the inferior. I
I
don't know.
guess I guess just maybe that could be an explanation for the little handshake thing he's got going on.
That's what I'm saying.
Um,
When it comes to abilities, they might have figured out what made Crosshair's ability so special, and for them taking the samples, giving it to now those other clones.
yeah, they could be giving his abilities
Yeah,
to the other
they
to
found out
the
how to
other
replicate it
clones.
and are trying to find a suitable host, like what they were doing with trying to find a host for Palpatine's body or for his
Right.
mind anyway.
Well, for his that can
Yeah,
sustain his M count and all that.
yeah,
Yeah, but so I mean, I we talked about it a little bit after the show yesterday, and I think it's Cody 100%. I don't think they're gonna revive Tech. I think Tech is gone. There's really no indication this year during the season this year that he is alive still. We haven't really got anything
yeah.
about
There
Tech.
hasn't been
They're like,
anything that leaving those little breadcrumbs, minus his goggles being in that. I think first or second episode.
yeah, yeah, but that was more of a like he's gone
Yeah,
situation than anything. I do think it's Cody, and the reason I think it's Cody is because it looked like he was going to leave the Empire, and
yeah.
we know around that time that was it the doctor who like basically told like Crosshair like no, like we're gonna take care of him and all this stuff, and who or was that maybe their that was someone else, like the director of that particular battalion.
'Cause I thought Hemlock
Um,
was in charge because that's Hemlock's personal hit squad.
was it Hemlock?
Yeah, I believe so. Because that's Hemlock's hit squad.
Okay, so then it was Hemlock. Okay, that I couldn't remember, but
I was like, yeah. It's I thought that was Hemlock. I was trying to think of who else that could have been.
well, basically, like the crumbs that we did get in this episode explained what this program is, and that they even said that Crosshair had a chance to be one of them. Basically, essentially, he could have been brainwashed as well. But I think that just leads so much like credence to Cody being the one who was brainwashed, and that's why he
Yeah,
never really made it out. We never saw Cody again after that episode.
yeah. And so like that, it definitely makes more sense than even Tech, and that would also
I think so.
make sense with with the personal vendetta. Because I mean that
Oh yeah,
that felt very personal. So
that's what I thought. I mean, him and Crosshair were going at it, but if you remember, like back in the Cody episode, like him and Crosshair were working together,
yeah,
and they still weren't really seeing eye to eye.
'Cause,
So there's
like
something there.
the only way I could see it if it is Tech would be him feeling abandoned, and they took that abandonment and brainwashed him into believing he left you here and all this other stuff, and the Empire was here for you. But like that's
Eh.
really reaching. So I would hope
Yeah,
for it
because
just to be Cody.
he let go
Yeah, yeah,
himself.
like that's why like I'm really hoping it is Cody. Just because like I don't know, like that confrontation. Also, too, him being stunned 3 times, like before like
Yeah.
falling down, like I don't even think Wrecker. I think it was like twice that Wrecker had to get stunned. Maybe okay, maybe it was 3 times. I don't remember. There's one episode where he got stunned a bunch of times. I think it was his
Yeah.
inhibitor chip.
Well, that's
Um,
why I think that also leads perfectly into what you're saying about maybe they found a way to take all like Clone Force
yeah,
99 special abilities and like put them into one clone. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
that's what
they
I'm
got
thinking. Is that like they're able to replicate them in some way, whether it be big
mm,
or small? Because like, how would I mean? I would see Cody's like resilient, same thing with Rex, but if 3 of those can take out Ahsoka, then I mean,
yeah.
or
Eh,
sorry, if even one of those can take out Ahsoka, like I don't know, I just feel like regular clone wouldn't be able to just handle that like it was nothing.
yeah, and they obviously when you pair that with the sniper abilities that this guy had, I mean, he was a sharpshooter, you know? So
Yeah,
like you said, he was shooting just as well as Crosshair was. Um I definitely think if it is Cody, he's been enhanced in some way via Tantus. So that would be a really cool way to kind of wrap up Cody's arc because he was supposed to be in Kenobi and he wasn't in Kenobi. He was actually written out of it. The original scripts had him in it, um, and he was written out of it. So we haven't seen Cody. He's not in Rebels or anything like that. He does get mentioned in Rebels though, doesn't he?
I don't remember. I thought he was. I thought like this could be Legends. I thought he was mentioned that he helped train the new stormtroopers that were coming into the Empire. That's what I thought, but that also could have been from Legends.
That's
So because
Legends.
in Legends, I thought him and Rex both did that together, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, Rex did too because he was part of the 501st. So
Rex
in
mentioned that him and
Legends.
Cody had worked on these like the codes for things and like the strategies during the Clone Wars. So that's how they
Oh
knew the
yeah,
Empire
yeah.
strategies. I remember that callback for sure though.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, there's no there this would be a great way to wrap up Cody's story. And it'd be I just feel like it'd be a way more rewarding reveal than Tech. Like if it's
Yeah,
Tech, I'm just gonna be like, oh, he's alive. Like, come on. Like
I'm more
everyone
both
out
of
there
that
is
at this point. Yeah.
everyone out there is speculating it's Tech, and I'm just like, I really, really hope I would rather have cloned Crosshair than I would
On a
Cody.
side note, I
I
don't know
mean
if you
than
know.
Tech.
Yeah, honestly, that would
Yeah,
make
yeah.
more sense too, because then it's like almost like the George Sabayoff thing, like with the two Lukes, like how
Yeah.
like
That'd be kind of cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
On a
I'm
side
down for
note
that.
too, when they're going into like the door on the side of the mountain, like when they find like that like other like exit, Wolf pulls out his blaster. He pulls it out. The blaster comes out, and then when the clones run by, it's gone out of his hand. Like they messed up in the animation. Like the blaster's just gone after the clones ran past. I noticed it right away. I'm like, oh, there's animation error. Like,
Oh man. It
no one saw that either. Like, New Rockstars missed it. Heavy Spoilers missed it. I thought it was
oh wow.
obvious, but
I mean, I'll be honest, the episode was so dark to me that I would have never noticed something that small. I'm watching it on my TV downstairs. When I watch it on my like monitor, it looks better, but when I watch it on my TV, man, I'm like, this is so freaking dark. Like the whole
yeah.
episode was so dark to me. But overall, it was fine. I got through it. So I did not catch anything like
I'm
that
gonna say yeah,
though.
because I haven't watched it on my TV. I've only watched it on my monitor.
Oh
But yeah,
yeah.
because like the second he pulls it out, it's in his hand, and like two clones run past. I think it's the clone commandos. They run past, and then instantly it's gone, and he's just holding like this, but there's just nothing there.
Oh, interesting. Well, these things happen. I mean, hey, it could have
Yeah, I
been
was
too dark
like
for
even
the
the biggest
animators.
studios. So
Yeah, no, it happens. It happens. Um, Speaking of animation, real quick, I'm gonna segue real quick to this X-Men '97 thing. Have you heard about how they like fired the
yeah,
showrunner like a
yeah, like a
week
week
before
before it
it's
comes out.
airing?
Yeah,
It's crazy, and
it's
he already like
wild.
wrote season 2 supposedly.
Well, and
Oh,
also
that's
too, like
interesting.
um, I thought he did work for he did work for like, Moon Knight as well, I believe as well. So like
Oh, really?
for him to be fired like a week before, like something had to have happened, and he like
Yeah.
instantly deleted all of his social media accounts too.
Yeah, something crazy happened there.
Yeah,
That story will come out later. I don't know, man. That's an interesting one. Um, Yeah, no, that's an interesting one. But back to Bad Batch. No, I really, really like the episodes. I think I just love seeing Rex and
Yeah.
Wolf too. I mean, um, I Wolf is definitely, by the end of this whole
Yeah.
thing, he's turning back to the good side. So he's not with it.
Did Rex feel a little bit different to you in this episode? Like to me, like Rex felt like he was more like I don't want to say like careless, but he wasn't on his game for like at least like to me anyway. Like
I
he's
see. I kind of know what you're saying because
he
he
seemed more
wasn't
like yeah.
he wasn't as I guess he wasn't as big of a hero as he was in the Clone Wars, we could say. But part of me just thinks like Rex is one of the oldest clones. Like he's a Gen 1 clone, as Omega has said previously. I think he's getting up there, man. He's just trying to lead now. I don't think he's necessarily um
I mean,
in the
I
game
just
still.
I just feel like
So,
Rex would have known that like just talking to him and giving him the brother speech wouldn't have got them anywhere when they were interrogating the Winkler. Like I get like the good cop bad cop thing, but I genuinely
yeah.
feel like Rex wouldn't have believed that was gonna work just based off of how he's already like dealt with them before.
Yeah, but
So he
they've
said,
never captured one before. So this was the first one they've ever captured.
well, not necessarily because the one with the cyanide and the first one the cyanide
Well,
like
I'm
the
saying,
capsule
yeah,
like
the first one they've had a chance to talk to, though, because the other
so
one obviously had the capsule. So,
I'm just thinking like I don't know like I just felt like Hauser wouldn't have had to pull him to the side and been like we have to be harder on them to get like I don't know. It just
yeah,
feels like I feel like Rex would have known that if they're already
yeah,
hunting them down.
I
Like
can,
it's
I can
like
see what you're
I don't know.
saying.
Like I just felt like Rex was kind of like off his game, if that makes sense. Like he wasn't like his head wasn't fully in it.
He definitely didn't seem, yeah, like because in the Clone Wars, he's like the guy. He's the go-to clone. I mean, he's the end all be all for the clones. So I get what you're saying. Um,
I mean, it's not
but
bad. I just was just more just like
no,
Rex is getting sidelined a little bit, which I mean,
it's
I
not his
didn't
show,
mind it.
right?
Yeah,
But I will say his speech to Wolfie was great. I mean,
yeah.
that was quintessential Rex to me.
So yeah, that was like Prime Rex. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
But that's the only like moment in the show where I was like, oh man, Rex, like, yeah, I love this guy.
I was like, because you can't market him like in the trailers as like being like important, and then just have him like just chilling.
Yeah.
Like, and when he did give that speech, I'm like, all right, like Wolf's coming back. Like this is exactly how like because we already got to mention Gregor in that episode as well with the food.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
So
true. We're gonna see Rex again for sure. I'm not
oh yeah, no,
I don't
I
I don't doubt
guarantee
that
we're
for
gonna
a second.
see
So
the the charge of Tantus. Like I think everyone's gonna be there. I think Wolf's gonna be part of that, just on their
yeah,
side though.
so are we still aligned then that Tantus will basically be abandoned by the Empire by the end of this thing? They're gonna move to
Um,
Exegol or wherever they're gonna go.
I would hope, but at the same time, I could just see a lot of clones getting mowed down, like in the Clone Wars. Like when they have this, not like a big army, when they have this good squad of clones, like I could see just a lot of them getting mowed down, and them
Yeah.
not being able to defend, like not able to do enough damage to Tantus, unless somehow they were already able to free the clones. And
Well, I think that even if the clones find it, they're gonna consider the base compromised. You know what I mean? And then they're going to leave it. Basically, I that's the way I see it going down, and that's when I think Thrawn is gonna come back in Ahsoka season 2 or whatever, and he's gonna revive Tantus. He's gonna
no,
like be like, all right, this is the place.
if this actually happens, like like I'll never like try and like disprove a theory, or it's not even like I'm trying to disprove them, but like have my own opinion on it, just because like it makes so much sense. But I could
Yeah.
see, like with how heavily guarded and how heavily I guess like how heavily their defenses are with Tantus. Like they have a race shield. Like I feel like if anything, like they would want us to like stand their ground before abandoning. But I could totally see them just be like dipping too. So it's like a toss up.
Yeah, no, I could see it either way. I mean, that's how I'm like, I think it, I think it makes sense for them to the abandon if the location is compromised. But if, let's say, the clones tried to infiltrate Tantus and completely spectacularly fail, which they probably will. Let's be honest; it's not like they're going to take down the whole base. Then Yeah, if no one's left, if I can see the Palpatine being like, no, we're gonna keep Tantus going.
But at the same time,
Just
too, like
without Hemlock, he's gonna be dead.
I can also see him being like, well, it's compromised, and now we have to leave and find somewhere else that's more hidden. So like, it's very like, yeah.
I mean, either way, I think when Thrawn goes to Tantus, which I'm like 99.9% sure is going to happen at some point, I think it's going to be abandoned by the time he gets there. That's for sure.
Oh yeah,
And the
no, it's not
Empire
going to
is
be
gone,
operational.
so-
It's going to be like Hemlock's first base.
Yeah, that's what I think.
Yeah, because like,
I mean, it was abandoned in Legends, and it's going to be abandoned when he goes there now.
yeah, and I'm hoping that they don't save that for Dave's movie. I'm hoping that like at the end, like okay, like kind of like at the end of Ahsoka, how Thrawn is already like arriving, to Dathomir. Like I'd rather like they show him like him arriving and starting to set up camp, and then like maybe like even like looking at like a some sort of a small like temple or shrine and seeing like Joris there or Mace, for example, or just like
Yeah.
something there, just like giving us like kind of like the Balin finger thing, just of somebody
Yeah,
else. Like I don't know, I would hope that that's how we ended off is like them
that'd
getting
be
ready
so
and then like
crazy.
somehow like Ahsoka and Sabine returning back and like getting Luke, and that's how like that ends and goes into the movie because then that would like go right into the movie with them, having Luke ready. I'm just hoping for the Jedi Academy part. Like that's like I'm still hoping for it.
I mean, we want to see young Jason with
Yeah.
Luke also. That's another thing. I'm trying to plot it all out like in my head and think about how it's all going to go down. I don't know if you saw, but Mary Elizabeth Winstead was on, I think, Fallon with Ewan.
Oh, she was?
And yeah, they both were on there together like 2 days ago or something like that. And he asked about, is there going to be a Kenobi season 2, Ahsoka season 2? And Ewan basically said no on Kenobi, which we know.
Yeah.
But Mary Elizabeth Warren said, yeah, she's like, yeah, season 2 is going to happen. They're in development, blah, blah, blah.
So I remember seeing something on Twitter a couple days ago, Ewan saying that like he's just waiting for the call for Kenobi. Like he's ready to go.
Yeah,
he's in shape. He's ready for it. But that's
he
like
basically said that. He's like, I'm waiting for them to call me, but he's like, there's nothing happening, basically. Yeah. So, but she did say Ahsoka season 2 is very, very likely. She said she's not allowed to technically confirm it, but she said it's in development.
That's
so I think
that's confirming it.
Yeah, I know, basically, right?
Rosario already said too, but yeah, so like
right, like it's happening. So do you think we get Skeleton Crew next? Obviously, that's
hopefully.
obvious.
Or just some sort of skeleton, either that. No, I think we get Acolyte after this, right?
Well, I'm talking Mandoverse only.
Okay, yeah.
Acolyte is next. Yes, Acolyte is the summer for sure.
How is it gonna be Mandoverse if it's in a different galaxy? That was kind of like what I'm kind of like thinking. Like if that leaks true that it takes place. Like, because obviously, there's the guy from Mando.
That was the question I was going to ask. So,
sorry.
That's the question I'm going to ask. So, Skeleton Crew allegedly takes place around the same time as Mandalorian, right?
Yeah.
We don't know if it's actually going to tie in at all. Maybe it doesn't. I don't really know. But Ahsoka season 2, I'm gonna have to assume that comes after the Mando movie. Do you think so, or do you think it comes beforehand?
I think it comes. I think we're gonna get the movie first, then the Ahsoka. Just because if they're only in like starting like pre-production right now, they're not gonna start filming until halfway through next year. Even the start of the year after that. Like, I think while we get the year that we get Mando movie is when they're gonna be filming Ahsoka. So that like the following year it comes out. So it's Mando movie, then Ahsoka, and then so on and so forth.
I wonder if. Man, I'm just trying to like figure out like okay, so Ahsoka season 2 comes out afterwards, sure, but like is she still stuck in this other galaxy? Like is she gonna come back before the big conflict? I wouldn't mind if she stayed over there. I wouldn't mind it because then we could have a more concentrated story on Luke and Ezra, which would be kind of cool for the movie.
Yeah. Sorry.
I don't mind if she comes back though too. So I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen.
I could see her coming back in the movie, like in Davis movie, like that, like coming back like towards the end. Like if there's a cliffhanger ending for like his part 2, I could see her coming back at that ending, like kind of like how like Ezra got back home at the ending. Like I could see the Ahsoka returning, and the entire thing is just set on Peridea. I would be totally fine with that though too. Like, why would they introduce this new galaxy just to leave it right away?
No, I think that's a great point. I guess, my question then is though, is Ahsoka season 2, does it have anything to do with the current galaxy? Or is it only in the new galaxy, just a separate story at that point? You know what I mean? Are they gonna like cut back and forth, like, oh, we're in Pridia now. Oh yeah. Also, here's what Thrawn's doing, and it doesn't clearly have anything to do with Ahsoka because she's stuck over here.
I feel like it honestly is probably going to be intersect with both. So like where like Ezra is trying to like convince the New Republic that they need to go and get like Ahsoka, and then like
He's gonna try to convince them to go to
well,
this other galaxy.
no, he's in trying like he's gonna talk to him about Thrawn and him being back, obviously, and stuff.
Oh yeah,
But then also
obviously.
too about like
Hera
Ahsoka's trapped
and
in this
Ezra.
galaxy. Because I don't know if at this point in time they're like I don't know. I just feel like he's gonna try and like petition them to like come up with something to like at least get in contact with them. But I don't even know how they would do that. I'm just more like thinking like Ezra's gonna try and like warn them about Thrawn again, and they're just gonna like not really believe him. But at the same time, he just got back from a different galaxy, so how are you not gonna?
I mean, yeah, they're gonna believe Ezra, or he's gonna go to Luke for help because Ahsoka's gone. Or he tries to go back and get Ahsoka and Sabine, which then we're having a retread of what happened in season 1, just with different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting to me because then there's these rumors about Skeleton Crew also, venturing into this new galaxy. So
I just don't know how that would work unless like
somehow
these
they
people know
bringing
like,
Ahsoka back.
That's what I'm saying. Like, maybe like with Skeleton Crew, like whatever like technology they have is different. Like if it's like Wakatan, for example, maybe they might have a way to get to that new galaxy. But also too, why wouldn't that be mentioned in any of the sequels?
Well, because they didn't think of any of this before the sequels. That's the easy answer. They didn't take the time to do any of it. Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like if that's the case, there's gonna be too many plot holes.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. I'm like, I just don't see how they're gonna do all that without, my personal preference would be, I mean, the fact that Mary Elizabeth Winstead thinks that Ahsoka season 2 is happening or knows that it's happening already tells me that stories are going to take place in the current galaxy because she's in the current galaxy with Ezra.
I mean, yeah, that's where I'm kind of just like it's going to be
100%.
have to be split.
It has to be split. Then that's the only thing that makes sense.
Just why would she be on the call sheets to come back unless it's like
right? No, good point. Man, I don't know. It's just like breaking my brain trying to figure this out because like
start tweeting out Emon to see
like I'm just trying to understand though, like why we spent all this time getting this new galaxy. We leave Baylan, Shin, Ahsoka, Sabine there. If they're just gonna return and come back, I kind of would like to see them stay there. I think that'd be cool. And if by the end of the Thrawn movie, Dave's Heir to the Empire, maybe then Ezra's like, all right, I got to go find, my friends or whatever. And he goes back to the other galaxy, and that leaves Luke as kind of the lone Jedi again in the galaxy, which we pretty much know is the case anyway, since no one else showed up in the sequels.
I mean, do you think do you think Hera would allow Jason to go with the new galaxy? Or do you think you'd stick behind to be trained?
Oh,
I could honestly see it like either or. Like it's so like it could easily go this way or it could easily go that way. But if Luke is so occupied with Thrawn right now, where's he gonna have the time to train as well?
Yeah, I would totally be cool with Ezra training Jason. Because it's like
almost prefer
his father. Yeah, I mean it's the lineage there that works for me. So
all the way from Mace and everything too. Like,
oh yeah,
would fit.
That'd be cool. So I'd be totally fine with that. I mean, I think Hera probably goes with them then.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, Hera. I don't think Hera would let Jason go by himself with Ezra.
Yeah.
But also too, like, I could see. I don't know, unless like Luke has like some sort of other trainer. I don't want to get hopes up, so I'm not gonna say the name. But if he has some sort of other Jedi there with him, to keep training the students, then I don't know. Like I just don't see Luke setting the time to just train Jason while this is all happening. Like that would be either Ezra or afterwards.
I mean, but you say that, which I get, But at the same time, it's like, okay, where was Luke during all of season 1 when all this shit was going down? He's probably just training students, right? Or building his school.
Wait, I'm saying now, like with Thrawn being back though, like
Now
this
that
big
Thrawn's
threat,
gonna be
okay,
confirmed. Yeah.
let's say in the first 10 minutes, Coruscant gets bombed. Luke's gonna like not have time to like for training. He's gonna be like
True.
at least like I would think so, but I mean, could be very wrong too.
Dude, I hope they land this thing. I'm like, because this is the era that I am most interested in because it has so many similarities to Legends. So that's why I really hope they land this thing. I don't know how it's gonna go down. So
Yeah, I mean,
I hope we see some Legends Jedi too. Definitely.
Talon Card, or not Talon Card.
Well, I want Talon
Katarn.
Card also,
Yeah.
but I want Katarn, I want Jade, I want dude,
I mean, Katarn,
give me Kip Duron. I don't care. Give me anyone. Like
I would definitely want Kyle over Kemp though. Like if you're
Oh,
gonna
me
leave
too.
your students the one person to be training them, it's gotta be Kyle.
Yeah. I mean, we already know we're not getting Jason Solo and Anakin Solo and Jaina, so I mean, at least give us Kyle. Yeah.
I mean, in a way, like you could be also dodging a bullet with that though too. I mean, because like they already tried that story with Kylo and whatnot, and it, like obviously it didn't go as planned. So
Yeah.
I could see them just not even trying to touch that, just because they wouldn't want a repeat of the sequels.
Oh yeah, no, I think you're right. I think at this point that is an untouchable storyline.
Unless it's like dumbed down by a ton, and you can't like. But how do you do that without the Vong? Like,
Oh yeah, no. I mean, the Vong thing. I really hope the Vong don't show up in this new Jedi Order movie because that is just gonna shit on everything that happened before. Man.
Like,
seriously, I'm gonna be like, all right, I've seen
so
enough.
When's Dune 3 coming out?
Yeah, right.
Like,
right. when we get Dune 3, I've had enough of this one. Yeah, man, that's tough. I don't. It's such like everything's so up in the air, and Lucasfilm's so secretive about everything. We don't know a thing.
I mean, I would honestly take that over like Daredevil Born Again. Like every like 3 days I see a new set photo, or every day I see a new set photo or footage. Like,
right.
I love it. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, like I wanted to go back to where it was so secretive.
You want to go in blind? You mean? Yeah.
I want to just be Theoryville. Like, I don't want there to be like any like, okay, so we saw this person in this leaked set photo, so we know that this character's for sure coming back. Like, I want it to be more like speculation, like rumors, more of just like, here's a set photo of Bullseye and blah 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 blah. Like,
right.
I don't know. I just feel like Lucasfilm is doing it the right way.
No, I agree, but like
it sucks, but like
but they don't even like tell us the titles of these movies, man. It's like, oh, we're getting a Dave Filoni movie around the New Republic era. It's like, all right, are we actually going to call it Heir to the Empire or not? Because that kind of tells me how hype I should be getting. You know what I mean?
Well, I also think too, part of the reason why they didn't tell is because of that. Also, they might not know what they want to call them yet, because like, are they going to go straight for the Legends name, or are they going to try and create their own?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, if they call it Heir to the Empire, dude, the expectations immediately go up.
And do you think Dave will hit the like if it is that, and like everyone has these high expectations? Do you think it'll be met with the characters we currently have, or do you think you have to introduce a bunch?
You have to introduce new characters. People will be pissed, dude. I'm telling you. I mean, me included.
I'm with you,
included. Yeah, I'm like, if they call it Heir to the Empire or Last Command or whatever they call it, if it's any of those, the name for the trilogy,
Dark Empire.
If they call it Dark Empire, I'm gonna be expecting something completely different.
I mean, okay, I could see them doing
that, got
but,
Dark
but
Empire
but with Resurrection, like with the Night Sisters and stuff, and the Undead, I could see it based off of that title, but that's really about it, and that's really stretching too.
Yeah, if they call it Dark Empire, the issue is, even though I don't love Dark Empire, it's the main story of Dark Empire has already been done, and at that point, you still are having expectations. If you name it anything from the Legends continuity, it's gonna have expectations associated with it, and it's gonna be hard to match or beat those expectations unless they really pull from the source material, in my opinion.
And has that happened in the past 10 plus years?
No.
That's so like Dave's gonna have to pull a cat out of a hat to make it work if it is that movie title. But at the same time,
I mean,
I would have faith that he could do it.
I kind of do too, and the reason I do is mostly because of Tantus.
Yes.
I think the way Tantus is being handled and adapted into canon makes 100% total sense, and it's actually really cool. We're getting a lot of lore on a place that we otherwise didn't have a lot of lore on in Legends. We just knew it was a cloning facility. So now we're getting all this lore, and it works, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, no, I'm eating this stuff up. Then like it's
Yeah.
there's so much about Tantus and the planet Wayland as a whole that we don't know or have only gotten like glimpses of in Legends. Now we're seeing it like firsthand.
Yeah.
Also, too, is the planet even confirmed that it's Wayland in canon, or is it?
It is. So in the they have like the episode guides that they release,
Yeah.
and it has said Wayland. Now they do spell it slightly different than Wayland in the books, but it's Wayland, so it's confirmed.
I mean, they spell Kashyyyk all weird ways too, so it's like
I don't know if I think they in canon spell it like Wheyland, but there's no H in Legends. I don't know, like if that even why they would do that, or maybe it just someone thought it was spelled that way. I don't really know. So, but it is Wayland. I mean, Tantus. That's the only reason I'm kind of like, nah. They're going this route. They definitely are. They're gonna use Tantus. We got Thrawn, we got Tantus. I think the Night Sisters are replacing the Nogri, which makes sense too. Now, the big question is going to be around the smugglers, I think, which could be Boba Fett's play, but
I'm hoping not. I'm hoping they introduce Talon. Like I feel
I want to see Talon, yeah.
Not just because like I'm voicing him in like the trailer. Like I genuinely think like Talon being introduced with this would make the story better because it's someone new and it would be like, oh shit, like who is this person? And then not only that would make tons of content for people, but that also would like give people a reason to go and look at these Legends books and audiobooks and re-listen to them and like find out more about this character or like what actually had happened besides just being Boba. I want Boba to be used in a better way.
Yeah, no, I actually agree completely. I want to see Boba be badass, and I want to see Talon kind of run the underground. That's what I want to see. But part of me thinks like if they add a whole pirating smuggler like plot line now, it could get a little convoluted. I
mean,
part of me thinks the Mandos are just gonna take that place. Like the Mando, like
everyone on Mandalore, like
the whole army they have basically is just gonna be like, no, that's gonna replace what the smugglers were to the original book, and they're going to come in and assist in taking down Thrawn.
I could see that, but I also I feel like that's going to be more of like Dave's movie is to deal with like the Mandalorians. My own personal preference would be like Talon Card's in prison and there's a prison break, and who's there to break him out? It's Mando, because like they need him for something, and that's how Talon gets brought out. Is that Mando's going in there to bust out this prisoner. And if you want to go one step further, you could have like Reznov from Black Ops, like the first Black Ops campaign, like his prisoner number, for example. That's just I don't know. But then like them having to bust Talon out, and that's because he has this this information that they need. But
I mean, any way they want to freaking bring him in, man, I'm for it. I'd be fine if they did it the way they did it in Legends. And if Thrawn wants to get Islamari, he needs to go to the planet Merkur, where Talon Card just happens to have his operations set up. So he basically has to get he comes to the planet, Thrawn does, and he basically has to ask permission from Card to land.
I was gonna say, because Thrawn already knows about Merkur. We've seen it in his office.
Right. That would be my personal preference on how they would introduce him. Like Thrawn's going to Merkur. He's like, all right, who's running Merker these days? Like, it's just dude Talon Card, and then he
Just
meets
have
Talon.
RDJ. Like,
That'd be crazy.
I wouldn't be able to unsee Iron Man though. Like, it'd have to be like
No, God,
somebody
no.
else.
But it would. I don't know. I'd probably be into it.
I would honestly like. I'd want Ian McShane just to be there. Like, I feel like he could play that really well. Like RDJ, I wouldn't take him seriously.
I mean, but Talon is one of those guys where like he is kind of. I mean, he's kind of like a Hondo, but he's not as ridiculous. But he's kind of like he's a little lighthearted at times. But at the same time, he can be ruthless.
Yeah,
because he just knows how the game works, man. I think that's what makes Talon so cool. And then if we get Talon, we cannot get Talon without Mara, in my opinion, because they just
they're hand in hand with that.
Yeah, it just then it just creates more issues for the canon, I guess. So I don't know, man. I'm nervous, but at the same time, I'm hopeful. So we will see.
I'm just trying to think of like the possibilities of how they would bring in Mara like through that. Like, did he find her here? Did she escape the Jedi Temple? Perhaps how does that even like work?
Well, she shouldn't have been at the Jedi Temple. Basically, she would have been one of the younglings that was stolen around the time the Empire was first trying to round up all the Force sensitives.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be the case. Now, I would definitely still go the route of like she was probably the youngest Inquisitor training. And, when the Empire fell, she didn't know where to go. So she hid her identity, which she did in Legends. And then she started working for Card. That's what she did. She was just trying to get a job. And she worked for Card. And Card saw that she has like some serious, crazy abilities,
Yeah.
And that's why he hired her and promoted her within and everything like that. So I think you would just, if you go to Merker, that's where we're introduced to Card. Boom. Next thing we see is who's by his side. It's Mara. And it's just like, oh shit, they're really going there. You know what I mean? Like that would be crazy.
That'd be the best way to do it. I would leave out the Emperor's hand part of it though.
Yeah, I agree.
Just because like it doesn't make sense for this point in time. But I would definitely like go about it that way. And they could even have like, I don't know, like if they show her quarters, for example, like like how Luthen was like hiding like things like last minute, like show her like putting her like shutting a drawer that has her saber in it, or like closing a trunk. Like
I mean,
like
she straight up ditched her saber in Legends. So
do you think that they would do that for canon though?
I don't know. I mean, because in the end she gets the Anakin saber in Legends, which doesn't show up till the Force Awakens. So
and if Maz had it all that time in the books from getting it from Cloud City, then I feel like Anakin saber's gone. Like that's I don't know.
But no, I'd be fine with her having her purple saber. It just stored away. That'd be cool.
Because I could like I don't know. I could just like maybe if like Luke gave it to Maz like as like safekeeping if Mara had died or something like that, then maybe. But at the same time, like that's the only thing I could like understand. But at the same time, how big of a role would Maz even be playing to begin with?
And why the hell would Luke just toss it over his shoulder when he gets it
like
back?
it should have meant so much more.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of thinking like it just got to stay away.
Yeah, that one's not going to work. Yeah, I think you're right. That's got to just stay out of the picture, I think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And like, I think I also feel like Disney has an issue with letting people keep their weapons too much. Like you're not seeing them lose it. Like with Anakin's, like on Geonosis, for example. Like they're like, I'm not fearful that any of the Jedi are going to lose their sabers or the sabers are going to get crushed or destroyed.
You never even think about that. Yeah, like
so. Like
Meanwhile, in original Lucasfilm, yeah, you got Anakin on Geonosis, you got Luke in Cloud City, you got Ahsoka basically just giving hers up at some point.
Yeah, I mean, also too. I mean, you can't really count that.
Didn't Obi-Wan lose his in Phantom Menace also?
Yeah, because it went down the drain and he took Qui-Gon's.
Yeah.
But I was also thinking too, because like technically it happened twice in Empire with everything on Hoth, with it being in the snow.
Yeah. He got it back, but yes.
Yeah. well, yeah. I mean, he's not getting it back. Sorry. Like, yeah, he had gotten it back. But I'm saying like I don't know how to explain this. Like in my brain, it makes sense, but it doesn't make sense when when it's coming out of my mouth. But yeah, I just feel like Mara has to like still have hers, just based off of how like the track record's been going.
Yeah, it's probably true. I mean, it seems like
I think the dark saber will be brought back. Maybe not the dark saber, but the crystal will be used for something. Maybe like the power all of Mandalore, or
yeah,
like
the crystal's definitely going to be
like
used. That's
that's the only thing I'm thinking of is like because I mean that's destroyed, but it's gonna come back. Like they wouldn't just
that's
introduce the weapon to just destroy it.
yeah, it's definitely coming back. I don't doubt one bit that someone is going to rebuild that dark saber, and maybe Grogu will have it in the future or something like that. But 100% that's getting rebuilt. Dude, they rebuilt the Anakin saber in Rise of Skywalker like after it was torn into two
Yeah,
pieces.
yeah.
Like oh,
I mean, and they also rebuilt Kylo's helmet too. Like
yeah, seriously.
like so it's possible. Like
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, yeah, I don't even know how we got on. Oh, because we're talking about Mara's saber,
yeah.
but yeah, it'd be cool if she had the purple saber. I'd be all for that.
Is it weird that I'd want it to not be purple? I want it to be red. Because then everyone like in like a more fearful way, and then when like when she gets on like the good side, everyone like Luke teaches her how to like, or even like Ahsoka, like teaches her how to purify her crystal, but it's so far gone already to where it's not fully able to get to white, to where it's almost like pinkish
That'd
or
be so
purplish.
sick, dude. That'd be
Like
so
I'd rather
cool.
it like be red at the beginning and then towards the end, like over time, it change with Mara's not only attitude but her character growth, it changing over time.
Yeah,
Because
that'd be
I mean, that's
awesome.
what crystals are like. That's the main part of the crystal is that like it's based off of. I mean, okay. Obviously, with Disney, it's a little bit different with them finding like blue crystals in caves and stuff in on Ilum. But at least with Legends, like I remember being like it's like more based off of your like emotions. Like if you like for blue and green.
Yeah. Well, I think Disney is still using that.
I mean, but then we get
It's weird
cows and
because
it's just like
yeah, there's been some obviously contradictions, but in some of the literature, especially I think the High Republic stuff, it's I think you're right. I think they can bleed the crystals, to make
yeah,
them red and stuff like that. So, um,
it could also
and
purify
obviously,
them too with Ahsoka.
Ahsoka healed hers. Yeah, she healed her blood crystals, and then now they're white. So, I definitely think that could be a thing. That'd be freaking awesome. I'd be all for that. I mean, who
I
wouldn't
mean, I would
be?
too. Like, and it's gonna sell a ton too. Like
Yeah,
I would just want it to be like where like she's still troubled to where it can't fully ever be like her crystal can't be fully purified. Like
mm,
she's still struggling with this inner conflict.
yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be really cool. Um, I'd say count me in
Yeah.
on that one, 100%. But part of me thinks it's still never going to happen. But if we get Card, we better get Mara. That's all I can say. So
If we get Mara without Card, I'd still feel like we need Card.
yeah, I think their story works good together, just like Mara and Luke's story does. I think like Card is such a pivotal role in her change. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? From part of the Empire to, I mean, sure she's a smuggler, but she's not like a shitty person as a smuggler like she was the Empire. So
And I have faith that they could do it right.
yeah,
Like like there's room to make those changes and it work. I just you have to bring in all the pieces of the pie to make it happen though for real, instead of it feeling half-assed.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree completely. The dude, yeah. If they go that route, there's gonna be a lot of watchful eyes on. Okay, are they doing this right? Are they handling the characters correctly? All that stuff because we want them to handle the characters correctly, and we don't want another Boba Fett situation. People are
Yeah.
still pissed about that. So
Do you think that if they brought Mara in the canon, like what do you think George's reaction would be? like,
have you seen the video?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I know it's like staged in the
Wait,
video, but
yeah.
like,
wait, I did not create more, Jade. Yeah, I can love that. It's so funny.
The fact that like Seth Green is just sitting there instigating it too, like
Yeah, that is one of the funniest George Lucas videos on the internet. I actually think so. There's like this, people think that George hates Mara, which is really not the case. There's never been anything said that he hates her. What he hated, and this is several authors have said this, but what he hated was the fact that they got a supermodel to play her, and like when they took the pictures and stuff,
yeah.
and they dressed her up in like leather spandex. He said that that's not very Star Wars-esque, and I agree 100%.
I would say leather, but not leather like not like Catwoman,
I
like
mean, that's what she's
latex
wearing,
almost.
and she's
Yeah,
wearing latex in like in the promo pics. So that the Lucasfilm took, and they got a supermodel to play her, which is like a little ridiculous, right? So
yeah,
I can see where Georgia's complaint is with that, because she doesn't look like she fits in Star Wars in that regard. I mean, the way she's explained in the books, with Timothy Zahn, is she's got like a jacket on and stuff. I mean, she's your typical like Star Wars,
yeah.
like
And
this
that's what I'm saying. Like the leather can
smuggler.
work because like we've seen it with the Jedi robes, we've seen it multiple
Yeah,
times with jackets and stuff. It can still work. Just don't do
right.
it in a provocative way to where it needs to like draw attention.
Well, I think you said it the right. She doesn't need to look like Catwoman. That's
No,
ridiculous.
yeah,
This
like
isn't a comic book. This is
yeah,
whatever.
you're
It's
you're,
live
you're
action.
making it like you're making this character not only because one you want to make money from it, but also two you want to like try and I don't know if you're gonna make money from it, you're gonna want to prolong it to where you're always making that money. So
Mhm.
they're gonna want to be able to release more merchandise with her. And
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't see much of younger audience members buying or their parents
Right.
being like okay with them buying something if it's like that. Like I can't like
Yeah.
yeah,
No, I
I
mean,
don't
I
know.
think she's got to be. She needs to dress like a smuggler if she's going to be in the shows or whatever in the movie.
I'd want her to have
Um,
goggles too. Like
yeah, I gotta have the goggles. Yeah, I love the goggles. That's a classic look.
I would say goggles, maybe even like some sort of scarf, like not like a long scarf, but like something around her neck.
Well, she had the in the comic, she did have
Yeah,
the sand scarf thing that's got like the little hood on it. So I mean, that kind of thing works. I think that'd be cool.
I still think Hera's voice actor could definitely play it, but age wise, I don't think it would
Age
match up.
wise, it doesn't match up unless they're bringing her into the new Jedi Order, which once again I'm fine with as long as there's a secret Skywalker child. I mean, I just like if they bring her in for the first time in canon when Luke's already gone, I'm gonna be like, what's even the point? Because that was such
Yeah,
a
like
you
that
know
doesn't make sense.
their stories move together in Legends, so yeah, that wouldn't make sense. But
You never know.
you never know, man. I think anything is up in the air. If they're gonna clone the Emperor, anything's up in the air.
Before jumping to Dune, kind of like a joke question, but also kind of serious. Do you think we're gonna see that like bear thing come back in Bad Batch? Like,
I kind of do. Like, I kind of think because there's such a dangerous uh ecosystem on Tantus, allegedly. This is what we know of it. I think it'll play a role in like the taking of Tantus. So when the clones go back and try to, I don't know, free all the other clones, I think the animals could play a role in it.
do you think the animals are going to keep the clones that are coming in to release them out, or do you think they're gonna help? I feel like I could see like a squadron just getting wiped out by the animals. Like they're like as they're storming the
Oof.
place, they're just getting like demolished, just because they didn't realize how big of like a
Uh
risk this is. I shouldn't say like a bunch of them getting demolished. I could see at least like 4 to 5 getting like swiped out from that and
I
the
have
howlers.
no I think they're gonna show up again, but I don't know. I just don't see them like eating all the clones, because like that's gonna just be like devastating if that happens. We already know like 90% of these clones are gonna die, so I
Yeah,
don't I don't know if that would be the way Disney wants to do it. Let's
I
put it
also
that way.
think that Hauser's gonna die in some way, like trying to help Crosshair.
Yeah, I
just
think I
based off
could
of
see it. That'd
their
be kind of cool. Yeah,
yeah,
because Hauser clearly had some resentment still. That'd be kind of a
yeah.
cool redemption arc kind of thing.
I mean, but after him not only grabbing Crosshair, but also like seeing him being like a dad to Omega, like I could see him like being like he's risking himself so that Crosshair can maybe help Omega and them get away for
Yeah.
a little bit longer, like to prolong it.
I mean, I could see
I don't
it.
know.
I mean, that'd be cool. We already did lose some clones in the last episode. I mean, you know,
Yeah, we
they're
lost a lot
already,
more than I thought.
yeah, they're already starting to kind of drop. So I don't know, man. It's like,
You
uh,
gain one, you lose three. Like it's
right. I don't
um.
know. I don't know, man.
Do you like? I don't know if you noticed too. Like when the thermal detonators were being placed around the ships, like I'm just gonna call him Cody. Like Cody was moving. I feel like almost like a little too quickly to where like he has to be enhanced in some way.
Oh,
Like
100%. Dude, he was like,
like
when he landed, he just like sprinted off into the distance
yeah,
like it
and
was
like
nothing. I mean,
it's like he has like super soldier serum almost. Like he's just like
yeah.
he like I don't know. Like I noticed like when he was like jumping and like diving through stuff, I'm like he's moving like a little too quick for it to be normal.
Yeah. No, he's definitely enhanced in all sorts of ways. I think we're gonna find out a lot more about it, but I in all sorts of ways. What you got?
I thought I had something and I completely lost it. It was supposed to do with how do you
It's all good.
think how do you think this is like how do you think that like I don't know because like we know that Fennec's coming in, we know that
Yeah,
Cad Bane's coming in.
Campaign. We're
How
gonna
is
see
this
some
all going to
bounty
work with the
hunters.
clones? Like I feel like our group has to split with them at some point, whether them being all
Oh,
dead
I
or
think
like
what's gonna happen is the Empire is gonna get tired of their their troopers and their clones or whatever not delivering, and they're going to hire bounty hunters, probably multiple bounty hunters to go after Omega. I do think Fennec though is probably an ally to the Bad Batch, so they're going to approach her to help them.
I just had a theory, but I also kind of also just like debunked it myself too because we saw a clone in Kenobi. I was thinking like at least all the clones that are in this area, like if shit starts going like downhill to where like they have to evacuate Nantis, if they still have their inhibitor chips, they can just hit a button, it'll fry them, like it'll fry the chips in their brain.
Yeah,
And
I
you
don't
think
think that's a
you think
thing,
like a
but
bunch like I don't know, like I was trying to think like how are they gonna like make them almost fully extinct by the time we get to like Kenobi era?
well, I mean, I literally think that the majority, like Frex, is going to round up the majority of the clones. They're going to go to Tantus and try to free their brothers and all that. And I think, like I said, I think 90% of them aren't going to make it out.
How many clones do you think Rex is gonna have though? Because right now we're looking at
Oh,
maybe 12. Like
hundreds. No, but Rex has a good network going on, and you could tell that just by what was happening on their little base there. They
yeah,
weren't all there, but he had a good network going. So I think he knows of more clones around, and I think there's going to be hundreds of clones in this battle. I think it's going to be like
really? You think it's
epic.
gonna
I
be
think
like
it's going to be huge. Yeah,
I thought it was gonna be big, like maybe 50 to 60. I just
I think it's going to be big.
I hope you're
Personally,
right. I hope you're right. That's like I really hope you're right on that one. But yeah.
that's what I think. I don't know. We'll see. So
Do you want
it's going
to
to
for
be
less
Dune style. Ending battle. So
be sick? That'd be
riding
sick.
worms in, or I guess bears in this case.
Or even the hounds too. Like
Yeah, right.
I can see like Omega's like sitting on top of Batcher as they're like charging in. If Omega's there, I really hope they wouldn't bring Omega for that. But I also would see them
Dude,
bringing her there for like because she knows the
they
place better than
always bring
Crosshair.
her. They always bring her. Yeah, they're not gonna
But
leave her behind.
I was gonna say like they can't really leave her behind either though, because like
Yeah.
yeah. Do you think the bounty hunters, or at least Fennec anyways, going to be helping them when they raid Tantus? Because Fennec was helping them in the trailer
Well,
at one point.
I think they're gonna call on Fennec to help kind of fight off the bounty hunters. But I do not think Fennec is going to raid Tantus.
I'm just kind of thinking from that one clip, like it's in a jungly area. I mean, we haven't seen any rivers around Tantus, so that's part of it. But like,
Yeah. I
don't
don't
know.
think that's Tantus. I don't think that's Wayland or whatever. But yeah, I
Do
don't. Hard
do
to say.
do we know if Boba and Fennec have met before Mando? Like, did they know of each other?
They definitely knew of each other because when he introduced himself to her in Book of Boba, he's like, "I'm Boba Fett." She's like, "Oh, Boba Fett's dead." Like she knows who Boba Fett is.
Because I was gonna say, like, do you think like not isn't like Boba beating Fennec in like a fight at the end, like for why she's out of the picture? But do you think like Boba's gonna come and stop like this bounty hunter, almost like bounty hunter war in a way? Like, or do you think Boba's gonna be like the boss, so to speak? That's like the boss fight is Boba.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think we're definitely gonna see him. I just don't. I don't know how it's gonna play out.
That's what
Like I'm
trying to
like,
think. I'm like how would they
yeah,
like? I don't know, because if Cad Bane is like if Cad Bane and other bounty hunters are coming after them, like I feel like Boba has to be alerted,
yeah.
at least in some way, or not. I could
I don't
definitely see
know,
that
man.
either
I
way.
have no freaking clue. I'm like, I mean, Boba's gonna be. I really think we're gonna see Boba. I just don't know how he's gonna come into. I mean, he's not gonna fight with Cad Bane. I don't
Yeah,
think.
no, they're not. They're definitely not fighting together. I just feel like.
Yeah.
Do you think at this point in time, Boba's enough of a driving force to make Cad like almost retreat in a way, or make him like just come back later?
Ooh. I don't know. He didn't stand down in Book of Boba, so why would he stand down?
But Cad also
This
knows
point.
like when to pick his fights though too. Like he could have killed
Yeah,
Boba 3 times before their confrontation.
that's true. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think
Sorry, like
I think we're gonna see Boba. I just don't know in what context. Like I don't really know. And I think it'd be weird for him and Fennec to cross paths. I also think it'd be weird for him and Cad Bane to be kind of fighting for the Empire together in a way, but
oh,
we know
I don't
that
think they'd be together. I don't think that would be the case at
yeah.
all.
No, I mean not even together, but like also like on the same side, but like not simultaneously. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
I also think it would be weird if Boba met Omega and we never got any mention of it in the in Boba's show. Like I feel like he would have said something
I,
about he still has a sister out there because he says he's just like a lonely man in the galaxy. Like I feel like
yeah, unless something like horrible happens to Omega.
I don't know. I just feel like I feel like she's gonna be the only one that makes it out. Like I can't see them killing a little kid. Like it's not George Lucas Star Wars anymore, so I can't see them slaughtering Omega.
I mean, I don't either, but I could.
Like
Oh, dude, I don't know. I mean, that's the only way I'm saying that it would make sense for Boba to not mention her. So, yeah.
does that Vader come in? And just
Oh, dude, that'd be brutal. That'd be kind of cool though. If they just went for it.
I don't know, Dan.
Crazy town.
I just feel like she
Oh
has to come back in
gosh.
some way, like in like whether it being a show that we already have or because like if she just shows up in like if Boba gets like Book of Boba Fett season 2 or gets something off of the Mando movie or is in the Mando movie and Omega's just there, like I feel like that's too big of a plot hole just to like not have dedicated time to it.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can't just have her show up. I don't think. I think that I don't know. It's all one of those things where I'm kind of like, I think we just have to wait till the end of the season because I can't make a good judgment call
Like
on
yeah, like
what's going to happen. Right. I have no freaking clue. I think that Boba is going to be in this season. I think we're going to get at least some sort of information around him knowing Omega or knowing of Omega, or maybe we'll find out that he doesn't know a thing about Omega. And that will be a plot that's kind of explored later on in live action.
I'd also be curious, like, how did she survive all this time alone afterward? Then too, like, she's got to
We
have
don't know.
help.
She could be on that little island or whatever, which
But I'm
seems
saying,
to be like a
like,
sanctuary. So with
I
all
mean,
the other clones.
I guess if like Wolf and Gregor and Rex all survive, because like, obviously they're gonna survive, like they can bring in a Pabu. But I'm saying like if the batch's fate ends on Tantus, how is Omega gonna get off and get like to safety if they're cut off, for example, from like Rex and them?
Well, I don't. We know Rex is going to get off. We know
Well, yeah, like
Wolf and
they're gonna
Gregor are.
escape.
So it's like I have to imagine with them. I have to imagine.
I mean, it makes perfect sense. I'm not thinking about it. I just, I don't know. I just feel like, I don't know. I don't know. Like I could, like, I would want more for her story almost, just to be besides just like hiding for the next 20 years.
Well, we don't know what animated shows we're going to get next either. We could be getting something that includes her. I mean, or a book or something like that. So I don't think her story is completely over, but I mean, if the Empire is in control and they still want her blood all this time, then she is going to have to go into hiding for, 20 years. So
I think more
that might be her only option.
I honestly think at that point they would just probably try and fake her death so that the Empire stops looking, because they will never stop them.
Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. So like if they do fake her death or something like that, then she's still gonna have to lay low, because if she doesn't, if they find out she's alive, then it starts all over again. Like no matter what, she's gonna have to go into hiding in some capacity, right?
I just wouldn't want her to show up at some random point, like, and then like meet Boba. Then like I don't know, like I like wanted her to almost like work for it in a way, like.
I mean, maybe we're gonna get, like I said, maybe this season we're gonna get some closure around the Boba situation, and then we'll, it's impossible to know until we see what happens with her story, which thank God we'll know within the next month and a half, basically. So it's like, hopefully we know something more by then, and then it tells us, where these things are headed.
I hope so too. I just don't want it to just end and then we don't know, like, for like.
Oh yeah, that would be like, so frustrating. Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm just trying to think of reasons to like why did they would keep her around, like for like content wise, like shows or books or movies, like what role is she gonna play in the future? And obviously we'll find that out at the end of the season. I'm trying to think of like, wrap in mind about when I'm like, how are they gonna keep this character alive even after the show ends? Because I can't see them just giving Omega a show.
No, hell no. She can't carry a show on her own. So
I mean, she can't carry anything by herself. Like when it comes to like the story, like having like group.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna have to go with, my guess right now would be she goes into hiding because of the blood thing. So that would be my guess. I don't think she dies, so I think she goes into hiding.
Yeah, I can't even think of anything else then for that.
I can't think of anything else logical, basically, unless they.
Obviously, Hemlock's gonna die, because why would they need Pershing if they have Hemlock?
So Hemlock's gonna die for sure.
And do you think that we're gonna get? I don't even know if like a mention of Pershing, just something to tie that in, because why would he have the Camino cloning patch if he? Like if he was on Camino at the time of like the destruction and like left with the Empire, why would they still need? Like I feel like he would be like learning through Nala Se right now, or learning through Hemlock. Like that we would at least like had mention of him.
He's so young though. Like, dude, he would be like a kid at this point in the timeline. Wouldn't
you think? Because like I feel like he's almost around 50 by the time of
Pershing.
Yeah, I would say like 43 at like the earliest.
I mean, I would go with like 40. I don't know. Because I think he's too young right now. So I think. I don't know.
I'm just confused why he would have the Kaminoan cloning patch because Camino was destroyed.
Like the Empire. I know. It just seems like the Empire is using that cloning patch for whatever. That's how they identify the clone science. So, or the scientists that do cloning. So I kind of think that's just more of an identifier than anything. I don't know. Yeah, he seems young to me, on the younger side. I would have never thought 50, but it's Star Wars, man. Isn't like Bo-Katan supposed to be pushing 60? I mean, I wouldn't guess she's 60.
Yeah, she's like 53 or 54. Like, so like
so.
And Katie Sackhoff isn't nearly close to that. So I mean, I think she's in her 40s. I think she's at least 40.
Yeah, no, she's definitely in her 40s, but I mean, she just isn't obviously as old as she's supposed to be in this thing. And
yeah, and I mean, Ahsoka's supposed to be like I think like in her fifth, like yeah,
Like almost 50 or something like that. Yeah.
because Bo-Katan is 4 years or 5 years older than Ahsoka,
Okay. Yeah.
and Ahsoka's definitely not at that age in her show yet.
Right.
Anyway,
Right. Rosario is younger than that. Trying to think, even Boba. I mean, Jesus.
I
Tim's 60 something and he's playing
mean,
a 40-year-old. You know what I mean? So
yeah. I mean, with Tem though, it doesn't. I mean, maybe of like the back to healing, like with the like the makeup, like Tem doesn't look. He doesn't look 60, but he also doesn't look 40.
right. Right. No, I agree. He does just somewhere in between. But I think they made a good like explanation out of it with the whole like, the Bacta or not the Bacta, but the Sarlacc kind of
Yeah, the
got to him
Sarlacc.
and stuff. Yeah, yeah. Kind of
I
aged him
just
a little
wish
bit.
more of the scarring honestly would have stayed to like make it like the age like his like with the scarring and everything like
Yeah.
him being more aged up. I feel like that would have been like more appropriate for it.
Yeah, the scarring was kind of cool in Mando season 2 when his face is all
Yeah.
scarred up and stuff. Yeah, it's kind of cool. I like that.
I also like the fact that he's just back to attic at the same time too though. Like
He's got to heal, man. Man's got to heal. Yeah.
we gotta get a Polynesian spa with back to
Yeah, right. Oh my
um
gosh.
but yeah. Do you want to talk about Dune quickly before we wrap up?
I think we might need to push that to next week. I am running
All right.
short on time here, but I do want to talk Dune spoilers more so than we did
Yeah.
last week, which we already did a little bit more. Maybe even
So-
just dedicate a whole freaking stream to Dune. I don't know,
like I know we definitely have a lot to talk about with it still that we haven't
Yeah.
discussed, and there's like plenty of things that we both I guarantee like have stuff to add.
Oh yeah,
Um,
it's
There's just so much.
it's a crazy movie. I saw it again last weekend and it's freaking awesome, man. I am like I can't get over how good it is. It's truly mind-blowing.
Yeah.
To me. I mean, I'm just like it's a perfect sci-fi film in my opinion. So
Couldn't agree more. And if we do a dedicated episode, I will also go and rewatch it to get like the freshest like memory of it as well.
I like it.
But yeah, next week.
All right. Yeah, we'll do it next week. I think we're only getting one episode of Bad Batch next week, guys, but we will regardless, we'll hop on and talk about it. So we will see what's going on. Do you know what the episode's called? Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now.
No, all the
Bad
names
Territory. Yeah, Bad Territory. I hope it's not like more of a filler episode, but
I think
I
we're
can't
going to
see the
start to get
runtime.
into the bounty hunter thing. So we'll see. It could
I hope so.
maybe not next week, maybe the week after, but I think it's going to be soon.
Yeah, I can't get anything on the runtime, but it's yeah, Bad Territory is the name of the
Yeah,
episode.
it's going to be like under 30 minutes. So it's just typical.
I'm hopeful that we'll get another 75-minute episode. If the finale's that long, I'll be happy. If it's 30 minutes though, and be kind of like, all right, guys, come on. But like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like you can't give us like a big strong like hour and a half almost for the first episode of the season of the
Not
entire
for the-
show.
Yeah.
Not for the ending.
No, I think we're going to get a big one for the last one. I do.
I mean, that's how it was for Rebels at the end. I think it was like 46 minutes for the
yeah.
runtime. So, but
Right.
season 7 of Clone Wars was 30 minutes. So it's very iffy.
Oh, that's a good point. I think we're going to get a big one, though, because there's only 15 episodes this season instead of 16. So,
Yeah, I feel like they combined them.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, Boba had a weird amount too, though.
yeah, Boba had 7 episodes. Very bizarre.
So, yeah, it could go either way.
Yeah, we'll see.
Alrighty.
All right. Everyone, thanks for watching. As always, we will talk to you guys next week.